Me. La 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 la. La la la. Oh. Oh. Hello, BoredGamer. That'll probably be alright. Second. Let's actually tweet out that I'm live, and then we'll be live. Right. All nice and done. All dealt with. Use the audio. Make this. Hello, hello. Hello, 07. Hello. Hello. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm BoredGamer. Bam! Oh no. I had a shave and I've realised I've got a bit tubby. The diet's not going well this time, but it's okay. We're going to get back on it. I mean, I need to get less off it. I've been eating lots of delicious things recently. Just lots. Like having 4 meals a day rather than 3. And lots of carbs. I mean, I like food. It's a problem. So I think we'll have to get rid of this over the next couple of weeks. I'll starve myself somewhat and go do a bit more exercise after the stream. I'll release a video and then I'll go for a run. I was doing like an hour running a day, and now I've sort of like reined it back to about 20 minutes, and I'm going, that's enough. I've been eating lots of like chili and stuff. Anyway, you don't want to hear about why I'm fat, but I will. Don't worry. I'll get healthy again, healthier. Yeah. So things I want to talk about today. Intergalactic Aerospace Expo starts on Friday, really soon. And lots of new ships. They've got some new stuff from Drake. We've got things like the Corsair. We've got things like we can talk about it now. I suppose I'm gonna say a spoiler name for a ship, the Drake Cutter. We got another spoiler name, the RSA Galaxy, and maybe some other stuff as well. So Cloud Imperium have talked about these leaks, and they've basically gone, look, we aren't happy that leaks happen necessarily. Sometimes when it's part of data leaks, we're okay with it. Okay, we data mined leaks. We've put those in those patches. Shame on us. Obviously, it's a little bit different if it's an Evocati leak because they don't intend the Evocati patches to really get out, but they do. It is against someone's NDA, whoever's sending them off. But when it's stuff that's leaked entirely internally, so a CIG staff member has leaked something, that's no, that's naughty, that's bad. So they're sort of a bit upset about that, and sort of damages morale a bit because they were sort of wanting to do it as a surprise release, or a lot of the stuff as well. They're like, not only is it a leak, we're sort of like, we wanted to be a surprise, but also a lot of the leaked information is wrong. So me doing my oh no, there's a leak the dance. Now I will get a video out straight after this one talking more about exactly what CIG said for their statement, because basically Xylo went through going, look, well, this information's wrong, leaks happen, but they don't feel good, especially the internal leaked ones. And I've seen lots of videos from other content creators talking about whose fault is it, and is it content creators that report on it? Is it the person that from CIG that originally released it? Is it the first person they gave it to that then pushed it further? Yeah, I'd say it's probably that CIG guy's fault that leaked it. It's the original leaker in the most cases. I'm pro news. There are leaks that I will not cover. Evocati leaks, for example, from patches, whether they're data mined or otherwise from Evocati. I can't because I'm NDA for it. I'm a non-disclosure agreement. I'm an Evocati member. I'm also NDA'd when I take like office tours or for certain other CIG little bits. And they'll say, do you want to be part of this or whatever, like the office tours. You have to sign an NDA though to not basically discuss anything that you see unless we've pre-authorized it. Because there might be stuff that I sneak around on and see screens that I'm not supposed to see, or see whiteboards that I'm not supposed to see, which is the first 2 or 3 office tours. I was like, So I've made a mental note of all these whiteboards, and I went, well, that's good to know. I can't talk about that. It's the same with like if you're having a off-the-cuff interview with like Aaron Roberts or something. I'll go, cool, let's go through the question sheet. I might ask a couple of follow-up questions, but I'd sort of authorize to make sure they're okay before I put them out on my channel. Obviously, in the case of ship leaks, these, especially the most recent ones, they're internally leaked to someone else, from a staff member to a content creator or to the leaks channel, and then they've got to a position that Clan Imperium didn't want. They don't want those sort of leaks. They don't want any leaks really. Yeah, it's a weird one. I'm not gonna disparage anyone for covering the leaks, and yeah, up to you whether you consume them. I will largely avoid leaks on my channel. Say largely, I mean I'll cover them if they're in the news a lot. I'll cover them if they're sources that can be sort of some form of accuracy to the source. Because, for example, I've had ship brochures leaked to me before, assumedly from, I suppose, yeah, it would have been someone internally in CIG, anonymously, and they turned out to be entirely accurate, but it wasn't the sort of information that I thought would be good to share, like, a week early, because we're going to get it next week anyway. It's not as if I've been told something spectacular about the company, that I'm like, oh my god, I need to report on this, because this is important. Like, they're doing something weird with our money, or oh my god, this is amazing, and I suppose, I don't know, if it was something that was genuinely fantastic, I'd be like, you know what, it's probably meant as a surprise. Whiteboards reminds me of school. Anyway, at least it wasn't chalkboards. They're all on chalkboards. Laughing Purgatory, Laughing in Purgatory, thank you very much for that donation. Very much appreciated. People do not need to donate for me to ask out their question, to read the question out and then answer it. I will do that naturally anyway. Hopefully, probably at some point throughout the live stream. However, if you do donate or whatever, I will read it out near immediately and definitely won't miss it. And I do like your money and your subs and all that sort of stuff and your bits and your bobs. So that is genuinely appreciated. So I don't want to discourage that, but I don't want to gate it for people that don't want to do that. Do you think the employee is still an employee? So basically, in Zylo's response, he said basically a CIG employee had leaked information that they weren't supposed to. Now, I would expect if they knew who the employee was, they wouldn't have said that, because I would have thought they would have kept it very much an internal matter and disciplined internally. I suspect it's something they don't know. Wiley Type, I hope you're doing well. Wiley Type, an ex-CIG employee who's a very good chap, and I had a great interview with him a while ago. Check that out on my channel. He again doesn't leak stuff. He talks about stuff he's allowed to talk about, and he's a good employee, and other people should employ him. They are. Is that good enough? Yeah, a ship brochure is different than new tech or a new studio or something. Yeah. I suppose with a ship brochure, it's weird, isn't it? Is it worse because of that? If you leaked a ship brochure because it looks more official? I think what it is because the thing that was leaked was internal stuff that wasn't supposed to be leaked, and because of that it looks more official, and because of that people just assume it's 100% true, and they're going to be disappointed because it's not true, or only partially true. Wally Type, thank you very much for the bits! Question, why don't we need to donate you to read our questions? Indeed. It's because I don't want to gate it. It's genuinely a thing. I hate elitism. Well, that's not I hate elite. I hate elitism. Thank you very much, Wiley Type. I appreciate that. You are a star and a legend. Anyone else see what looks like a ranger in the bottom left of Friday's sneak peek? So, are you talking about this sneak peek? Talking about this sneak peek? A ranger. It can't be that sneak peek. That's not there. Or are you talking about this sneak peek? So, what appears to be two blurry ships, maybe three blurry ships that are blurry. Who knows, eh? Could be anything. Some people think that with the leaks and stuff that open development should mean that we basically get to see everything or a lot of stuff, and I suspect there is some good points and bad points to that. I mean, I don't want to see everything. I don't want to see the whole sausage of the maid. I don't want to see the slaughter process, as it were. Like, there are certain bits that I don't want to see due to them being boring, or them not being refined enough, or them being so early ideas that, again, that they will cause discontent, because people were like, why didn't you go this route rather than that route? And I don't want to see loads of spoilers for Squadron 42. I sort of understand that. But I would like to say moo. I would like to say moo. I would like to see more. Oh my God, I've become a cow! Right. Sorry, Yeti, I love you. I just want you to know that. You are a top tier mod. And J-Bird, I tell you what, you can share the top spot for top tier. Love you both. Thank you very much. For people that said they had to watch it later or just popped in and say hello, thank you. Hope you had a great time watching this later. Please put question in brackets if you'd like to ask a question during the stream, so I can pick it out a lot more easily from potentially lots of questions. Hopefully I get lots of questions. What have we got? Oh, wheel up and down. Bear with me 1 second. My chat has gone a little bit mad. Sharksbite, I hope you're doing well. Sharksbite has made me a chef's knife. He is a blacksmith boy. It's genuinely appreciated. I'll be giving you some. Well, assuming I like, assuming it's good. And it's like, well, it just breaks immediately. I will be singing your praise. I'm used to be head chef. See, probably by my stress levels, I do appreciate stuff like that, and I love stuff that's handmade and sort of natural, more natural. Is blacksmith natural? This is my first Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Is it best to wait for the last day? Is it possible to CCU from a hover quad to a Banner Defender? Almost certainly. You might be able to get some Warbond CCU upgrades as well for that. It depends on what Warbond CCUs are available. Is it best to wait till the last day? Depends on what you want. Probably yes. There might be some, potentially, like 24 or 48 hour or limited windows for certain things. So just bear that in mind. It's unlikely, or it's possible, but probably won't affect you too much. In the case of Warbond CCUs, that could be 24 hour, 48 hour windows that could save a lot of money if you chain them up correctly. I will do a little video just explaining the very rough idea and concept of things you want to look out for, chaining CCU, Warbond upgrades, holding on to ships for next year, things like that. Because, like, for example, I've held on to a load of Banner Merchantmen since very early on, since they were like $300, $250, pretty early on, yeah? Released a load of upgrades for them, and a load of actual Banner Merchantmen. So the idea is eventually they'll be worth like $600-700 in my head, and then I can CC upgrade them to a bigger ship, or just give them away as prizes. So I do that quite early on. Where leaks? You can find your Star Citizen leaks stuff on the Pipeline Discord and on Reddit. Typically, there's also a statement from Xylo, literally on Spectrum, Cutter Leak Speculation. Some people were talking about it there, and Xylo jumped in, and that's what the sort of main crux of CIG's response is. Well, it's entirely what CIG's response is. I will link that to you. Can't link it there. Let's link it there. My OBS is not linked properly to my Twitch account, so it doesn't allow me to post as an admin there. That is annoying. I'll sort that out later. What else have we got? Corsair will likely be going on sale on the 28th, or the 2 weeks out thereafter. So the Corsair should be on sale from the 18th onwards. Should be on sale from the 18th, and flyable from the 18th. Hey, BG, I hope you're well. I know you don't intend to talk about leaked ships, but what do you think about the thing CIG did to the leaker mentioned in the Spectrum post? I feel that like this is new for the Star Citizen community. I don't think they found the leaker personally, though I might be incorrect. Let's say that. I think, as I said, I think if they 100% knew who the leaker was, they probably would have kept it internal. It's possible that the leaker was just dumb and just went, oh, we didn't really realise it was a problem. I thought sort of we're okay with leaking stuff to Pipeline or wherever they leaked it to. Because I don't actually know who they leaked it to originally. Because I heard a couple of my videos said that a content creator leaked it out to the community after they got it leaked from CIG. I was like, oh, okay. I just assumed it came from Pipeline originally. Obviously, it's two major leaks. Potentially 3, depending on how you see it, with the Drake ship and the RSI ship. Don't you think that Nomads should have a magnetic lock or force field protecting cargo in the back? So, isn't the cargo technically on a mag-locked floor? Yeah? I think the Nomad's going to be fine with it. People are going to... The Nomad's going to be great for loading and unloading cargo quickly on a small scale. For sure. Also, I've seen loads of different people have totally different theories on what Cloud Imperium were responding to in that thread. Like, are they saying that the cutter is entirely different, or are they saying that the RSI ship's entirely different? As I could say cutter because it's out there now, just everywhere. It's even on Spectrum now, or is it the RSI ship? And I think it's the RSI ship they're actually talking about. There was the one that may have changed, or the one they're more annoyed about. But it's probably both. I mean, actually, probably just both. Do you think Drake will get a ship in class between the Corsair and the Caterpillar? And the crack. Oh, okay. Between the sort of Caterpillar and Kraken size. I like the idea. I'd like a. So the Corsair sort of kind of fills the role. The Caterpillar sort of is that. Is it? I don't know. If they have lots of modularity in the future, I don't know. I would expect to see a big constellation. Or maybe something, maybe a smaller Corsair, to compete with the Connie. Man, I don't know. Maybe. that's a really hard question for me because I go, well, I actually quite like the idea. I can see why they do it, but would they have something smaller than a Corsair or larger than a Corsair? So, in the next 10 years, I would expect most ship ideas that you can think of for all the different manufacturers to be done at some point. Oh, money! Citaro! Oh, you beautiful boy! Thank you very much for the donation. Citaro makes lovely content as well. You should go check Citaro out. Thank you for always putting these on and keeping us all informed and updated. Thank you. Oh, you star. Hope you're doing well, sir. So, send out my notifications. What notifications am I sending out? What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Let's assume I did. Probably. Oh, no, fat October. The problem is I'll be fat in December as well. I've got Christmas going up. Hey, Board, how limited are the limited ships at CIG? What does CIG mean by limited? It seems that 90% buy a capital ship. No, very few people are able to buy the capital ships. Okay, so with the capital ship stuff and the limited ships, they sell in 3 waves, yeah, at the IAE on the appropriate manufacturer day, and it's like and then 8 hours later, 8 hours later, 8 hours later. No, 8 hours later, 8 hours later. 3 waves, yeah? So 4 p.m. UTC, midnight 8 a.m. Yeah, typically. So bear that in mind. And normally for like ships like the Idris and the Javelins and stuff, the Warbond versions, no, some of the versions sell out almost instantly, and some of the other versions stick around for a bit longer. I think that the Warbond ones can sometimes stick around a bit longer because people aren't buying with store credit. We'll have to see how Clan Imperium are doing it this year. There might be a marked difference. It might only be Warbond, or something like that. The amounts, it's based on the ship and how rare the Clan Imperium want them to be. Expect between 100 and 1,000 of each ship sold at each wave. I know that's not particularly insightful, but a lot of the stuff sells out within minutes. Soloed Carrack and power relay management scares me. I sell out Carrack and power relay management scares me. Can you lie to me and tell me everything's going to be right? Old man Zim. Okay, so what I can tell you is that you'll be able to get NPC crew, you'll be able to get AI blades, and you may be able to automate some of the repair, and you might be able to get components, which are much less likely to break. You're going to be fine. Don't you worry. It's going to be fine. Or you could always, get some friends. But yes, if you want to solo those ships, you will be able to. It just might be, complex and hard to do. You're not going to be doing great if you are soloing them in combat. Leaks are illegal, whether or internal or otherwise. So it depends on what you think about that, but certainly not illegal. They're not illegal. They are against terms of service or your whatever one of the user license agreement stuff. One of your agreements that you've signed that definitely sort of potentially against that. You can talk about that sort of stuff. You shouldn't leak. And Clan Imperium have first right of first right of publish. So anyone that does that a leak, technically Clan Imperium can ask you to bring it down or strike your video for it if you're a content creator online, because they have first right of publish over their content, and they go, aha, we've not given you right to do that. We've not released that information. Breach of contracts are not illegal, typically. But yeah, breach of contract is normally civil. I suspect there are probably I can't think of the word, exceptions to that rule. They are. I'm using English again. Do you think the redacted chip, the smaller of the leaks, will act as a starter pack? Yes, I think it will. I think it looks like a starter ship, potentially. Looks like a starter ship and a good ship to have aboard other ships. It's annoying because people treat patches released to the PU as if they're the product, which makes transparency CIG has been giving seem disingenuous. Okay. Do you think the RSI Galaxy is, well, I've said it now, is a bit off the manufacturer's use of names and Greek mythology? So as the sort of ship manufacturers modernize or become, they'll try different stuff out. So, I mean, you see it in the current world with cars and other products. Doesn't necessarily always follow the same line. What happened to Jax McCleary? I think he's still alive. So, yeah, we don't know. There's a sort of in memory of Jax McCleary. We haven't seen him for this IAE. It might be something that they mention. It might be like a little skit. He might turn up at the end of this IAE. It's sort of like to return properly next year. I have to wait and see. Thursday, Inside Star Citizen about the 600i. When do they usually post? So we'll get information about that later tonight of what they're planning for Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live. A long-time watcher, first-time caller. How solid is that ship design for the cutter? So from what I can see, it's not confirmed. It's just basically the leaks for those two ships are not confirmed. They may have changed significantly. And that's the way you should sort of look at them. If the Kraken goes on sale, can you buy more than one at once? No, I think you're only limited to buy one of each ship during in limited waves. So you couldn't buy more than one Kraken this time around. I think you could probably buy a Kraken and a Privateer though. Probably. Ghost Cat Joypad. What's going on, brother? What's good, brother? Mr. Destructoid69 appreciates all the content you post up. Only place I get my RSI updates. Thank you. Thanks for the bits. Appreciated, boy. Where do you see the biggest gap in ships is? What do we need added the most? I don't see, at the moment, much of a hole in ships because we need the gameplay to support it all, yeah? So we're looking for data as cargo, so data running. We're looking for salvage. We're looking for just exploration science and about 2,000, and about 100 other mechanics to come online. So at the moment, there's no real hole in ships because we don't have enough of game yet to fill the holes. So the relay and the sort of resource management systems, ground sort of combat refactor and stuff like that all coming online in hopefully the not too distant future, next year, I'm hoping. That will be a good place for Clan Imperium then to start, balancing ships and having being able to look and identify what actual holes we will have in gameplay. So at the moment, it's really hard to work out where there's holes because we need more of a game first. No way to get multiples of the same ship in your cart at the same time. Probably not with the limited sales, with the limited ships sold in waves. So the Javelins, the Idrises, the Kraken, the Privateer, and the 890 Jump. Probably not. There are always workarounds. You might be able to buy one of a War Bond version, one of a Store Credit version, things like that. So the extreme first world problems of, I need to get more than one of these capital ships. Does donating my time to watch your videos count for anything? It does, Ghetto. I appreciate it. There you are. Counts for something, see? Do you think CIG was mostly upset about the ship in production leak since they were so concerned about some backers' disappointment? Maybe. They don't like leaks. They especially don't like internal leaks. And data mine stuff, they're sort of like, sometimes they might leave it as breadcrumbs. A lot of the time, they're quite minor leaks. Like, shame on them if something's data mined, especially from a PTU build, an open PTU build, or whatever, because they have an exclusion mechanism, which actually they have to actively say what content they want in that patch. Obviously, they don't want misinformation spread around about a ship that's going to disappoint people because they'll be like, "But you said." No, we didn't say. You looked at some official-looking documents that said this, which were just ideas. Well, why haven't you done that idea then? So, oh no, this is what we feared. Can't afford a Privateer. Will you buy me a real one? Real one, love you. In the case that I have spare ships and vehicles that either CIG have given me or people have donated to me or whatever, I will start giving them away to mods and channel members and Patreons. I'll just start going, just give them away. Or if someone doesn't claim if someone hasn't claimed a prize for like multiple, and I've tried to send it to multiple people, then I'll say something about that as well. But we'll work that out all the time. Typically, I just like to re-roll those. If it's the monthly, I think I did reward it once ever. Typically, with the monthly ship giveaway, we don't have a problem with people claiming them pretty quick. And sometimes multiple people saying they've won. Which I go, no. I can see which one's won because I can check your YouTube channel and I can see the actual full link. Yep, so Alpha 3.18 has persistent entity streaming and cargo refactor. Persistent entity streaming, not a huge deal in 3.18 though, because although it does allow for servers to save data and not be volatile, so if the server crashes, they can load back in, and there's going to be changes on those servers, you're not necessarily going to get back on that same server. In fact, it'll be often you go back on a different server, so you're sort of jumping into other people's worlds. If they're planning on adding more steps with loading and unloading, I seriously hope they up the profitability. So yes, profitability will rise and change with sort of costs associated with cargo hauling, and eventually it will be super dynamic, or a lot more dynamic. What's the thing from the expo you're most looking forward to? Just the whole of the expo. I mean, obviously the first day you got a load of stuff from Drake. It's going to be exciting. I really like the IAE every year. I like Drake as a manufacturer as well. Although I think they used to be my top manufacturer, but now it's probably Crusader. What footage is that? So a lot of the footage we use is a mixture of Inside Star Citizen, Citizen Con, and gameplay footage that me and Zin have got, and Zin sort of compiles it all together for a little streaming video that I get to make every month, or every few weeks. Are there any expected changes coming to trading with 3.18? So there's the addition of RMC, which is the recycled material stuff from Salvage, and there are new trade terminals. So might have some tweaks to the economy beyond that. Thanks for that, Summer Yessie and JBird. You're beautiful boys. Thank you. See, powerful mods that I don't give any instruction to, and yet they do their job. Thank you, I appreciate it. You keep saying Crusader is your fave. Do you like more than just the Mercury Star Runner? So I really like the Spirit series at the moment as well. And I genuinely like the Hercules and stuff. I think they look great, great ships. Although I wouldn't own a Hercules myself. Right, yeah, I love the Mercury Star Runner. Do you still have any concerns regarding the work Tony Z still has yet to realise in game? Yeah, concerns, yeah, because so it's pretty complex what he wants to do with all the NPCs and the economy and stuff. I say concerns. I would like to know more and to be updated. My concerns are the length of time it's going to take them to get it all in game, because it's basically the dynamic universe and the economy that he's working on, and that's super important and super complex. And I do think that Tony Zarovic and the team around there can do it. It's just I would like to see more updates on it, and how long is it going to take to have something that's actually a workable solution in-game. Do you think the Golden Age of Piracy patch is going to chase off all of the non-NVPers? So I don't think that... Okay. 3.18 gives reasons to do piracy. It concentrates PvP in areas around places like SPK, and if you want to do piracy, I suppose, mining sites and mining fields. So the reasons to do piracy now, because of soft deaths, you actually can do piracy. So you can go, give me money. You're not going to give me money. Okay, I'm going to blow up your ship. Blowing up your ship. There's 70% chance that, well, all of your cargo survives. Yeah, or most of it. And your ship is basically a husk, with you still on board alive on it. So the crew are alive, and your ship's just disabled, basically. It can't be repaired, as far as I'm aware, but is disabled. Then you have a boarding action. Obviously, the pirates can then board and try and take the goods, and they have to fight there. Now, that's really cool, because then you can call in for help. Yeah? You can go, oh, my ship's been disabled, I need to call in some help, and you can try and hold off the pirates for as long as possible. And I really like that idea. Like, fighting in a Mercury Star Runner is going to be quite funny, because it's going to be hard to assault a Mercury Star Runner, because they've got loads of, like, little vents that people can come out of, and they've got a little floor above they can shoot down from. Things like that. So I really like that idea. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for pirates. I think it's going to be reason for pirates to want to do piracy, and some cool mechanics that give people a lot of gameplay. But I do think that there is a focus on trying to have a lot of that PvP more focused on Security Post Korea, and that's going to be the only place that you can scan, hack down your criminal rating, things like that. And obviously, there's going to be lots of money, high risk, high reward. But I think there's going to be a load of bounty hunters. I think that people are going to be like, you know what? I like PvP, but I don't want to be a criminal, and I want to fight these other people that want to do PvP. So I'll be a bounty hunter and just wreck all the pirates, right? Recycled materials composite, I think RMC. I think there's going to be a lot of gameplay for lots of different people, and hopefully players won't be scared or chased off by PvP. It's going to happen in games sometimes. I don't think it's going to happen all the time. I don't think it's going to be super aggressive. I think the world is still pretty big. If you are doing a long period of mining or whatever, cargo hauling, and without an escort in certain areas, that might be dangerous. Endeavour Transmission says, GRPs are for legal activity only. Do you think that implies illegal production in the Endeavour? What? What are we talking about? So my brain's melted. What are your new personal predictions for the RSI Galaxy? How much money will I lose at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo this year? So I think Cloud Imperium will hit over 100 million in sales this year, probably over 110 million in sales in total throughout the year. And I think this is probably going to be the biggest IAE event by a small margin, probably not this huge margin, but by a good margin, little moderate margin. I think they're going to smash it out of the park just because I think the world economy is a bit screwed. Has there been any recent news about the Polaris rework, or is that no? We don't have any additional information about the Polaris. You might see some updates during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo if Cloud Imperium do some ship specials. I would expect to see stuff like that on that, and the Apollo and the Banu Merchantman, things like that. I appreciate the element of surprise, not knowing what will be released during the expo. Feels like Christmas. Don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, it's true. Although I don't care about spoilers personally. I don't mind someone spoilering something for me. Like, if someone told me the whole plot of a film, I'd still go and watch the film and enjoy it. The story and how it's presented. Do you think the Banu Merchantman will join the illustrious list of limited purchase ships now with its redesign? That's a really good question. Will the Banu Merchantman be a limited ship? I don't think it is. I don't think it's limited. I don't think Cloud Imperium desperately want to limit it either, because I think it will make them a lot of money. Explorer, Cargo, and Fighter variants, you think? Or more unique third variant? What's going on? Do you reckon that either the Cutter or the Galaxy is ready to fly? Probably the Cutter, probably not the Galaxy. But don't know for sure. Should I keep the Perseus or the Polaris? I don't know. I can't answer that question. See what interesting things are available during the IAE to see if you want to upgrade to anything else. Any reasonable idea when Pyro will be available? So I think Cloud Imperium want to get it out in our hands Q2 or Q3 of next year. Did they only sell the Pioneer once? No, this Pioneer's gone on sale multiple times. You'll see the concept ships go on sale during the IAE as well. Do you think we'll see any VR support next year? So I think once Vulcan integration's done, so we've got the Gen 12 Renderer stuff coming in 3.18, although they do need to refine it and add a little bit more. Then you're going to have Vulcan integration a little bit after that. Then they'll start talking about VR. That potential Drake ship is joining the Mustang Aurora AA. Titan as a proper starting pack. Do you think will be the distinguishing reason you'd buy? Why would you buy basically that new small Drake ship over something else? Probably for its specialized role, or just that it's Drake. I mean, Drake like to put typically more guns and are cheaper, but don't have all the frills of other ships. Actual game release, man. What, Star Citizen 1.0? 5 years? 4 years? 4 to 5 years? What's the difference between War Bond and normal? So War Bond means that you're buying something with new money and it's cheaper because of it. So War Bond, get it like 10% off or whatever, but you can't use store credit. Realistically, not every person wants to fly a ship. 6 degrees of freedom is too much for some, so there should obviously still be some cars in the verse, despite the inefficiency. Does the verse need cars when we have ground vehicles? Seeing the Herc bomber footage is land deformation, craters, etc. planned. So they have the ability to do it, and they have previously shown off some land deformation. However, it is not confirmed whether they want to do land deformation yet. It's not planned to be in game yet, but they can do it, and they have shown it off. It's in a video about the ground launcher. Do you have a ship manufacturer you like, but they have one minor design you dislike? Probably. Loads of them. I'm not a fan of actually like the RSI as a manufacturer. They're not my favourite. And it's mainly because of the Auroras. I appreciate all the kind words from people. Thank you so much. Do you think it would be wise to increase Alpha UEC payouts for human player bounties and human player boarding action rescue requests? I believe they should have highest payouts. Yeah, I think that's actually a good idea. High rep gain as well and stuff like that. I saw about 5 unannounced ships on the Bricker Tracker. Yep, ships and vehicles. There are a good amount of them. How sandy will the sandworm be? So depends. If it's quite dry sand, then probably not very sandy at all. It could come up and it's going to be, you know, a worm when it's above ground. It's only really sandy when it's underground, right? I'm always optimistic. When do you think they will redo the Freelancer and Starfarer? I think they're going to see tweaks. I don't think we're going to see huge changes to them. Obviously, they're updating a load of the ships to gold standard at the moment, going through them, making sure they've got all the appropriate sections and areas for physical components and the resource management system. When will I get a BoredGamer shirt in Star Citizen? One day, my friend. If we could actually customize stuff like that, I will do BoredGamer shirts in game. One day. What's your favourite flavour of crisp? It will be Monster Munch beef. Beef for Monster Munch flavour. It is the best crisp. And then if you're going to like something like Pringles, then it will be sour cream and chive. And then for just general purpose crisps, I like just a general ready salted tortilla. Do you have any idea what size weapons and shields the Corsair will have? Not really, not 100% confirmed. Obviously, the original stuff will have changed somewhat. So we'll have to really wait until it's in our hands, which is within a week. It's sort of constellation Constellation-esque, but it's got some of the same features that a Carrack has. It's really a more advanced Constellation Aquila, is the way I'd sort of look at it. But, you know, done by Drake. What colour will Space Cow milk be? Probably still white. It was like black, they call it ink. What variants would you like to see for potential Drake starter? My favourite is a tanker variant. I don't really mind, to be honest. I like cargo variants. I like the multi-role, cheaper cargo variants typically. But ones that could help. So I'd like to see a starter ship that helps with other roles and professions. So you go, this one helps with mining. So it's got like an extra mining laser on it, or an attractor beam on it. This one helps with salvage. This one helps with refueling. This one helps with... Do you know what I mean? So really small entry-level stuff. And this one helps with medical. Just really basic functions for that to help the other profession. I want to transport square pigs. Good for you. And 1 SCU pigs. Giant pigs. Do you know if they fixed the cargo glitching for the 300 series? So a lot of that stuff will be fixed for 3.18. But I'm not... but the cargo refactor will fix a lot of the cargo problems. No worries, thank you very much. Thanks for the kind words, Milspec Mum. What else have we got? Most anticipated ship beside the Corsair and the Banner Merchantman. Probably the Orion, because I love mining and giant strip miners sounds cool. Pioneer, because base building. Oh my god, Pioneer is probably my top one actually. And then things like the Perseus as well. Like, I love the idea of the Perseus as like a big anti-capital brawler. Yeah, I think we'll probably get the Nyx system relatively soon after Pyro as well. I think they are working on Nyx as well and have done a lot of work to it. Has CIG ever discussed adding MIDI controller support to play instruments in real time in game? I've not heard that, but that sounds amazing, but dumb, but amazing. I remember people doing that in sort of like Rust and stuff. What was the other game? Agatha. One of those medieval choppy chop games. That medieval chop game. That's how I remember it. Because I just go chop chop. Chivalry. Thank you. As Mordau has MIDI. Okay, I obviously got those two confused. Thanks, Riley. Oh, they're the same game in my head. Roads when. So, the work on rivers is also big steps towards having roads in game. Roads will be a thing. I'm not sure when they start adding them to planetary generation and the planetary tech properly. For honor as well, yes, indeed. Do you know, by any chance, some of the lottery numbers from next week? I do not. 7's probably going to be in there. Real weight on ships and vehicles when? That's a good question. So once they have the resource systems planned out properly, yeah. So the resource management system that does also handle gravity and gravity generators and stuff. I would expect them to then go, well, actually, we probably need to get better weights. They might do it as part of the cargo factor a little bit later on as well. We will have real weights. They don't say when. I say real weights. Better simulation for weight. Obviously, they want it for like tractor beams and stuff, and getting ships out of atmosphere and ships being laden in atmosphere, stuff like that. How much longer do you think it's going to be before medic gameplay gets more work? We need it, obviously, in game. I think that we'll see little minor updates in pretty much most patches, and there'll probably be like a larger update next year. That's sort of my expectation, but probably lots of little minor things. And then you go, well, actually, medical gameplays are a lot more in depth. Do you think we'll see another ground vehicle for the IAE? Maybe. Not sure. Genuinely not sure. I haven't seen any leaks for that sort of stuff. 3.18 is planned to be released to live early to mid-December. I wouldn't 100% confirm or guarantee that all of the features we're expecting in 3.18 are going to be released in its initial patch, its initial release. How many players do you think they'll support in a single instance before they implement player-controlled capital class ships? What? I don't know what you mean by that. So obviously, server meshing will increase the sort of 120-ish cap that they've got at the moment, hugely, because then they can stitch servers together. They've got static server meshing coming first, which will basically go, this area of space is defined by a server. But then you have dynamic that they're going to be building afterwards, which will then make ships, rooms, whatever, all potentially be dynamic servers that can spin up and spin down based on the population of that area. So potentially you could have everyone in the same mega stitch server. Is that going to be the case? Probably not. And we'll have to wait and see exactly how it works and how they then restrict it. And if they do restrict it, it'll be shard based, and you'll have shard affinities, and you'll move between shards, or people might move between shards so that you get more gameplay and stuff, but you'll return to your original shard. That's what it looks like to me, and that they'll probably want to do. Do you think players will be able to have land-based repair shops or general shops? I would expect so. I expect that's going to be part of bases. Oh my god, how do I say your name? Bida G Gaming. I can't say your name. BJ. Oh no, that's what bad. Thank you very much for the sub. That's what I'll say. Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm expecting bases to allow for shops, for players to have their own shops there. I mean, you're gonna have it on the Banner Merchantman, and like things like the Kraken, or at least the Privateer. So why not? DJ Face. See, that's an easy name for me to say. Thank you very much. I've heard of all those words before. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Very much appreciated. Yes, here, I have an easier one. Yes, appreciated. Would a caterpillar full of Nova tanks be effective against an Idris next time Xeno threat comes around? So, I think something more effective than that would be dozens and dozens of people with railguns in the back, as long as they don't accidentally shoot your own ship. Is the Connie Phoenix a limited hull? Yes. Any idea why? Because they only want a limited amount of them in game. They're supposed to be rare. Do you think that Jax McCleary will return this year with Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Yes, but it might be at the very end. Him just going, what's going on? With the sail on land, do you see a sail of space? I hope fucking not. And one day, though, I would expect to be able to build space stations. Like in 10 years' time, I would expect at some point, Cloud Imperium would have gone, we'll allow player-built space stations. Ships like the Kraken Idris could have crew half the current server cap. Yeah, so we need server meshing. We need dynamic server meshing to allow for that. With the latest post on mining, do you believe planets will have a limited depth we can dig? So, I think what will happen is that there will be a bit of regeneration of materials, but it will be to do with surveying. You'll sort of survey an area, and then you can exploit the materials there, or new sites will be found, and survey techniques will get better, or things like that. I do think there won't be a 100% fixed amount of materials on planets and moons, but I do think it will be something that over long periods of time regenerates or changes, or Cloud will go, we'll do some hand wavium here. Well, thank you very much for the bits. That's very much appreciated, sir. Oost. Well, some sort of hype train going on. Do you think the the Drake Corsair will be a good pirate gameplay platform given the current given the incoming cargo factor changes? Yes, I think it's a nice multi-crew, multi-role ship that will be good for fighting pirates and being a pirate ship. With soft death becoming a thing, do you think taking prisoners will be coming soon for bounty hunting? little bit beyond that, but it's probably not too far away. The ability for bounties, like and live bounties, especially for NPCs. So short-term NPC bounties, very likely. Player bounties, a little bit beyond that. Me, I loved Free Space. Free Space 2 is one of my favourite games of all time. I love the idea of Free Space 3. Get a Kickstarter for it. I like fighting against an overwhelming force that are probably going to beat you. It's not sort of like, oh, we've overcome the odds. It's like, oh, there's some hope that some of humanity will survive. Or what we need to do is we need to blow up a load of our infrastructure to trap them on over here. I love that stuff. Do I understand correctly? At the beginning, Raft and Hull were advertised that we'd get most from the cargo factor, and now we're receiving the information that for these two, no changes are coming at the moment. Effectively, in 3.18's cargo factor, those ships are going to, as far as I'm aware, act exactly the same. The larger cargo containers are coming later, but it does pave the way for that. It's not ready for it yet. When those ships die now, is their cargo has a chance of being distributed in one SCU boxes. Imagine how much drama will come to Spectrum if you could handcuff and hold players prisoner till they backspace. I know, right? So they need to have this stuff sorted. Like maybe you can only do that to players that are being hunted. Like they have to have a criminal thing on their head for you to actually even have that option of stunning them and capturing them. Yeah. Do you know if one day we'll see creature captures, captured creatures, creature smuggling? So as far as I'm aware, Clan Imperium have talked about it very briefly and sort of implied that would be the case. And we'll have to wait and see though. There will be sort of like things like big game hunting, I'm expecting. And they do want pets in game. Skylark, thank you very much for the resub to the Prime. That is very much appreciated, sir. Have the recent changes to Twitch's policies changed how you publish on that platform? Not really. I don't. Twitch is not a major deal to me. Obviously, some content creators, it's their big thing. For me, I make Star Citizen videos on YouTube for the most part. Right. Anything else I can answer quick? Ares Inferno or Warden, please help. Oh, as a choice, you're going to be disappointed with the Inferno, especially at the moment. They are going to improve a lot of the stuff later. I really like the Warden. I'd take it for a Warden if it was me. It was my choice. Do you expect post soft death ship husks to be indestructible after entering soft death? That's a good question. Can you blow that up further? You'll certainly be able to, or almost certainly be able to salvage it. Hull strip it. And can you keep on shooting them to blow them up? I don't know. Can you push them as well? Are they floating in space? Are they static in space? Can you push them into a planet's pull and have them fall to the ground? What happens when they hit the ground? Are the crew then fine, or do they explode again? Are some questions that remain unanswered. Could one way to handle player griefing with handcuffs would be to give them an unlawful imprisonment charge? Yeah, but I think that probably you should only be able to do that to players that are eligible for being bounty hunted. Yeah, do you see what I mean? Have CIG ever talked about having ship chevrons vary from blue, yellow, red, orange, and red based on owner's reputation with the law? No, but that is sort of expected in my head as well. So you go, am I at war with this org? Shows me their chevron. Is this an org mate? Is this a group mate? Am I in a party with them? How trustworthy are they reputation-wise? Change the basic colour of the chevron based on that. I love that idea. I've always wanted that. All these questions are great, but what's CIG doing for the average player? What? Also, how do they plan to fix missions? What? What does that even mean? There's obviously lots of problems with the alpha. They are improving stuff and adding more and fixing things from patch to patch. You should notice some big improvements in 3.18 and a load more gameplay. And for the average casual player, you should see more and more content and more events that sort of favour that, such as the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. And things like, so, for example, 3.18 has got the Siege of Orison sort of style of fighting on platforms, but in smaller, more compact missions that you can just go straight from Orison to a platform and do a smaller mission. And that is genuinely fantastic for quick accessibility to missions. Oh, I need JBed. I will update those at some point. Those emotes. I'm lazy. Tell Zin to make some new ones. I haven't played in a year. Anything new in game? Yeah, loads. Check it out on the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. I've got various videos on my channel going over a load of stuff. But there's a load of new gameplay. 3.18 should be released sort of mid-December, and that's probably a good time to jump back in, or jump in during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo to try out a load of ships. There's a common belief that Squadron 42 is taking away resources and slowing the development down of Star Citizen, because many players wishing that CIG would hurry up and finish Squadron 42. Anything to say to those players? So all the work they're doing on Squadron 42 directly impacts and improves the persistent universe. Obviously, they are working on 2 games simultaneously. The lion's share of development is going to Squadron 42, but a lot of that then trickles down into the persistent universe, and Cloud Imperium do want to get the core of the game done, which is Squadron 42 stuff for the most part. And then once they have episode 1 out, which is their focus, you will see a lot more development on the persistent universe almost certainly, and the core of the game will be done by then. So you'll actually start to be able to see things phased in properly without these sort of like, and a lot quicker without these sort of like placeholders and stuff. I think it's they're trying to get some meat on the bones of features, because they go into Squadron 42 first, into that development branch, and then come down to the persistent universe. And it makes sense. Doesn't necessarily mean we're always getting the progress that we want. So bear that in mind. And which versions do you expect or hope to be published by the end of 2023? What? So I'm hoping that we're sort of like on 4.1 at the very least by the end of 2023. You know what I mean? Like, we've got Pyro. We're starting to look into a load of the new sort of 4.x sort of feature set stuff. Got any other major bits and bobs? Anything you're genuinely excited for the expo? Just the whole expo itself. Like, day 1 is always going to be the most exciting for me, I would expect. But anything new that's going to be there, the new ships, the ability to actually fly the Corsair. Oh, pretty excited about that. It is the busiest time of the year for me. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good love. Right. I think we're pretty done. Thank you very much for joining me today. It's very much appreciated. I hope you have enjoyed this stream. Do you think server meshing will be a 4.5 or 5.0 thing? So server meshing, static server meshing, is planned to come in 4.0, which we're currently roughly expecting Q2, probably more likely Q3 of next year with Pyro. It's not 100% guaranteed, but that's what it looks like. That'll be static server meshing, and then beyond that is dynamic server meshing. Skylark, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I'm not sure if I said thank you earlier, but I've said it now if I didn't. Yes, genuinely. Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, I've got some more questions, so I'll read them out. 4.x is possible? A question mark. You don't just make my space heart hope because you care how I feel. No, so I think 4.1 is probably potentially by the end of next year. It's possible. Oh, it's Plastic Death. Thank you so much for the money. This is like a drive home radio show. Expect that I'm still at work and you never play music. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll sing next time. I will start putting my silly in-game ads in at some point because Zin is building some for me based on my silly little tunes and jingles that I've been doing that you have yet to see. We'll see. Thank you, Plastic Love. That's a lot of money, by the way, as well. You're a beautiful boy. Thank you so much. Will CIG have to purchase their own servers in order to improve NPC performance? So they run on Amazon Web Services, and Amazon Web servers or whatever they're called. So they're scalable to whatever CIG's needs are. They just need to get server meshing in, and then they need to improve optimization of their netcode, and then get NPCs in a good state, and then maybe they need a bit more server power, but they can sort of leverage that as much as they need from Amazon. If we destroy loads of cargo ships, then we have loads of boxes floating in space. So 6 cargo ships. So now that they're going to be in 1 SCU boxes, that's actually reducing the amount of cargo hugely. Also, 70% of the time, those cargo ships will not explode with cargo. The cargo will just be on the ship still. Because the soft death system means that ship will just remain there, unflyable. With the crew, potentially. Well, the crew will be alive as well. If it's an NPC ship, the crew die. But the crew will be there as well. You have to board the ship and take the cargo. No singing, please. Got it. Do you think we'll see a 3.17.5? No. I think we will see 3.18 mid-December. Boom. Thank you. I appreciate all the kind words. I appreciate the extra money that people were sending me as well to encourage me to stay longer. But yes, I'm going to pass you over to another Stremmer boy or girl. Let's see who's around. I'm going to pass you over the lovely Space Tomato Gaming. He's a beautiful boy. I was on a podcast with him recently. And I really like his content. You appreciate those kind words before. Yeah, genuinely appreciate if you sitting down and chatting with me that time, and your continued support and sort of joining in with the streams now. Like it's you're a good chap. I genuinely appreciate you talking candidly, and yeah, you are appreciated. As are a lot of my community, including my mods, and including people like that aren't mods, like Plastic Death, who gives me loads of money. That's very appreciated. But yeah, genuinely, thank you very much to everyone that joined me here today and asked some questions. Yeah, I hope you have a great week. Please, if you need to get through to me, you can get me on my Discord, discord.gg/BoredGamer, or you can email me at richardboardgamer.co.uk. I'll get through to me. I appreciate you loads. Give some love to Space Tomato, and I'll see you next time. Peace. IAE on Friday. We'll be doing loads of coverage. Woo!